What's going on, everybody? I am the one and only Jigsaw, and it's time to do something a little different, because today we're going to be looking at Google Trends when it comes to Resident Evil. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube covering different Google Trends over time, but I have never seen one when it comes to Resident Evil, so I have no idea where this video is going to go. I have no fucking pre-planned anything. We're just going to get into the guts of Google Trends and see what we find out. We're going to be comparing the games, the movies, the characters, the fucking fucking weapons, whatever. We're gonna be comparing all kinds of shit. So strap in and get ready for the ride. So first things first, the thing you gotta know about Google Trends, it only goes back to 2004. So obviously we're not gonna get the entire history of Resident Evil because, 2004, that's all we got. We're not gonna get the classic shit. But we got a big window to work with, so let's get into it. So what we're looking at right here overall is the 2004 to today and the Resident Evil popularity. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat, what the fuck is going on with West Virginia? West Virginia is the most popular state when it comes to Google Trends. We're talking searches for the term Resident Evil all over the internet. And then I switched to just YouTube searches. Again, West Virginia topping the list. So I don't know what the fuck you guys doing out in West Virginia, but apparently it is the most popular Resident Evil state when it comes to searching for Resident Evil shit. So let's see what the most unpopular state is. I assume it's gonna be Hawaii, Alaska. So we'll take those out of the equation. Okay, I was wrong. Hawaii is number 50. There are 51 up here. Don't question it, okay? We got Hawaii and then Vermont. Now, this is YouTube searches only, so apparently Vermont is not a big Resident Evil state. So let's go back to the web searches and let's see what the most unpopular state is. Let's go on over. District of Columbia, okay, Vermont again, so Vermont overall, not a big Resident Evil state. West Virginia, however, number 1. So I zoomed in a little bit. Now let's look at this overall interest timeline. We see two really big spikes above the rest of history, 2004. And the first one, the biggest one, comes in at May of 2021. What happened in May of 2021?
Sorry, Ethan.
May 7th, 2021, the release date of Resident Evil Village. So yeah, obviously Resident Evil Village, believe it or not, from 2004 to present, has the most popular spike ever on web trends. Let's check YouTube real quick. YouTube only goes back to 2008 to present. And look at this, May 2021. Resident Evil Village, not that huge of the spike. The big spike comes all the way back, again, this is on YouTube, in March of 2009. Now, what in the fuck happened in Resident Evil history in March of 2009? Boom, right here, baby. March 5th, 2009. Resident Evil 5 release date. So apparently, when it comes to YouTube searches, Resident Evil 5 takes the cake. Switching back over to web searches, of course, we check that second big spike, and yes, it is March 2009. So when it comes to the overall web searches, Resident Evil Village, the overall number 1 most popular Resident Evil search time. Number 2 is the release date of Resident Evil 5. Just gonna look at a couple more of these before we move on. Now, the third biggest spike right here, January 2017. What happened then?
Welcome to the family, son.
You guessed it, another release date, January 23rd, 2017. Resident Evil 7. Oh, goddamn, Mike. Resident Evil 7 release date. So obviously, when you're looking at this timeline, you're obviously gonna have the biggest spikes during game releases. So we got number 1, Village, number 2, 5, number 3 is 7. Fuck you, Resident Evil 6. So let's round out the top 5 really quick. We got October 2012 is the 4th most popular, and I believe, let me check my calendar, 2012. Okay, that is Resident Evil 6. I just motherfucked you, and you came in. Here it is. In case you need the proof, boom, here it is. October 2nd, 2012 was Resident Evil 6. And then coming in at number 5 is January 2019. And I'm pretty sure, yes, January 25th, 2019, Resident Evil 2 Remake rounds out your top 5 on the most popular time frames ever searched on the internet for the term Resident Evil. Now let's get into the movies really quick. So looking at the Milla Jovovich movies, we're gonna look at the breakdowns right here. Web searches. Now keep in mind, the original came out in 2002. It's not gonna make the list, started in 2004. So we only got 5 movies to work with based off of popularity. I typed in each movie name right here. We got our diagram. Let's dive into it. So the blue line right here, see if we can make this bigger. All right, it's a little bigger here. So the blue line is Resident Evil Apocalypse. It peaked at 57% popularity. Now, that is not the biggest, as you see, because boom, moving on up, Extinction, the third movie, actually did more popularity search-wise than Apocalypse, which was a way better fucking movie. Then we hit the peak right here, Resident Evil Afterlife. For some fucking reason, the 4th Resident Evil movie with Milla Jovovich was the most popular searches of all of her Resident Evil movies. I don't know how or why that makes fucking sense, but for some reason, Afterlife peaked at the most popular of all the movies. Then, of course, you have Retribution, which looks like it came in 3rd. And then down at the end, we had the final chapter has like no fucking searches really compared to the rest. Rightfully so. The movie was horrible. Everybody was ready for that shit to be fucking done with anyway. So there you go. A quick little breakdown of the popularity in the Milla Jovovich movies. Now let's look at the CGI. Okay, so now this chart are the CGI movies / Netflix series with Infinite Darkness. Now this is very, very fucking interesting to me. The blue line here, which is spiked way fucking higher than everybody else, is Degeneration, which came out October 17th, 2008. But the weird thing to me, when you hover over the timeline here, the spike actually hit. Goddamn, stop fidgeting, bitch. The spike didn't hit for about 2 months after the release, which usually these line up almost perfect. Just like the game releases, the movie releases, they line up perfect. But I guess it just wasn't, it didn't hit right away. It took 2 months for the popularity to hit on Degeneration, the first CGI movie. Number 2 here, which was Damnation. Another little weird thing, the popularity spiked on Damnation in September 2012, which the movie didn't come out until October 27th, 2012, I believe it was. So this one was a little off too. Now, this might be because of Japanese releases and stuff like that, but I don't know because we're only looking United States in this. Keep that in mind too. I didn't say that at the beginning. We're only looking at United States because Biohazard would be for Japan, so it would be complicated. So we're only looking at US. But anyway, it was a month off again from the spike here. But look at that. So that drop-off was fucking huge from Degeneration to Damnation. Then we go to Vendetta. This is where we brought Chris in June 2017. Now, this is the only one that I actually seen in movie theaters. The other ones I had to get the Blu-ray for, so maybe that was some of the popularity. But anyway, this one came out in May of 2017, so the next month was the peak for Vendetta, which looks like it is the least popular. Yeah, it's the least popular of the 4. Number 2, the second highest is actually Infinite Darkness, which just came out on Netflix not long ago. Its peak hit in July of 2021, which is when it came out on Netflix, July 8th. So either way, it's surprising that the Netflix series was the second most popular, but look how big of a difference in popularity was between these 4. I guess everybody was super fucking hyped for a CGI movie for the first Degeneration, but that hype fell the fuck off after that first movie. So the last comparisons I'm gonna do for the Resident Evil movies is the most popular Milla Jovovich movie and the most popular CGI movie, Degeneration. So here the blue line is Degeneration. So this is the CG, sorry. Let me scroll down for you. So the CGI movie is way less popular than Afterlife, which was the 4th Resident Evil movie in the Javilia Javonovich movies. But I know what you're thinking. Hey, Jigsaw, what about that awesome and amazing Welcome to Raccoon City? Huh? Well, let's type that in, shall we? Boom, and here we go. The yellow line right here. So way down from the other two. Welcome to Raccoon City peaked at a 28% in November of 2021, which is when it came out. And wow, that's a 28%. 50 was Degeneration. So way down even from Degeneration. It just wasn't that popular. Probably why the box office showed too. All right, so now we're gonna look at the virus's popularity being searched for. We got 5 here. One of them, the Veronica virus, I put in the progenitor virus, they're all really low. So there's only 4 main viruses people really have searched for that actually comes up in the reading. So here we go. We got the T virus in blue. We got the G virus in red. We got Las Plagas, which I know it's not a virus. I know it's parasite, whatever. It's part of the same shit. Then we got the Veronica virus in green. Ouroboros is in purple. So look at our spike here. So there was a giant spike here. What in the holy fuck could have caused this giant spike in our timeline? Let's see what happened in March of 2020. Oh, okay. That's what happened in March of 2020. Great. Awesome. Okay, so COVID-19 is gonna screw up our fucking results a little bit because everybody was searching. I don't know why T-virus, because this search is for specific terms. So I guess people thought we were getting infected with a zombie virus back in 2020 when the pandemic happened. So, okay, we're gonna try to, so 2020, let's, okay, so there was another spike way back here. It looks like the biggest one besides after that. So let's go before the big spike. Let's search pre-pandemic and look at those results. Okay, so we got some better results here. This is from 2004 all the way up to December 2019, which is right before the pandemic really got big. It was kind of started, but this is before the main pandemic hit. So let's look at our results now. So remember, blue is the T virus. So starting off early on, looks like the T virus was the most searched for virus in Resident Evil's history, followed by looks like Ouroboros was number 2. Now around 2008, 2009, Ouroboros takes over, but that is, if you remember, when Resident Evil 5 came out, which is when Ouroboros became a thing. So for a little bit, Ouroboros looked like it was on top, but then T-Virus again took back over all the way up until we have this giant spike here. About 2016, going into 2017, we got Las Plagas jumping way up through the results. So that's got me questioning shit. So I've been looking it up, and I mean, Resident Evil 7 came out right at this time. It came out at the beginning of 2017. But I don't know, there was no Las Plagas in there, so that was more the mold. So I don't know why, and if you're watching this and you know maybe why there's a giant spike in 2017 for Las Plagas, which actually hits the most popular mark on the entire search timeline here, you gotta fill me in. What the fuck is this about? So besides that outlier, Las Plagas really came in, I don't know, it was a little bit tied with the G virus for most of it. And then way down at the bottom, like I said, the Veronica virus, I put in the progenitor, I put in all those, the smaller virus, I put in the C virus, Resident Evil 6, but they're all really fucking, actually, I put in the C virus, I forgot. I couldn't use that one because the C virus was way higher than everything else, but I had to look it up, like, why the fuck was Resident Evil 6's virus the most popular one? And it's because hepatitis C. Yeah. So it's a little skewed in that, part of that. So really, it looks like it kind of makes sense. The T virus, which is the most prevalent virus of Resident Evil history, it's the original besides progenitor. And, that's kind of obvious what I would expect here. But the most popular of it was in 2013, which was a year after Resident Evil 6 release. So, I mean, I don't know exactly why that peaked right there, but it is what it is. So there you go. That is a look at the virus breakdown when it comes to web searches. And just breaking it down by the state, which I always like looking at the state. For some reason, Idaho was the most searched in this category for the T virus. G virus was Hawaii. What the fuck? Hawaii had the most searches for the fucking G virus. Let's look at Las Plagas, Nevada. What in the holy shit is going on? And then let's go to Victoria or Veronica. Sorry. Veronica was Texas. I don't know what that's about. Maybe Victoria, Veronica, Texas, whatever. I don't know. Let's go to, and then Ouroboros was Oregon. Man, I don't know. These are some weird findings, and just this kind of stuff just amazes me, intrigues me very much. I don't know if you're interested in this, but I definitely am. So if you need to go through and look at this for yourself sometime, because it gives all kinds of fucking information. It gives a breakdown for each. Here's the T virus, here's the G virus, here's Las Plagas, and it shows you how the popularity in each state. Very cool. Google Trends. We ain't got time to go through everything. I'm just trying to go through some random shit because I just want to get to as much as possible. So let's get to one of the big reasons why you're probably here. A lot of people out there on the, the Resident Evil fandom, they all have their big stands. Who they want to back, who they want to fuck sometimes. You're sick, okay? They're video game characters. Get your dick, get your pussy, put them back in your pants. They ain't real people, okay? So we're going to take a look at the popularity breakdown of the Resident Evil characters.
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...
Alright, so moment of truth here. We got Chris Redfield, my main man, my favorite character. Let's put him up against the other fucking boy toy, Leon Kennedy. We know Chris is more popular. Let's search it. No. 14 for Leon, 10 for Chris. Are you fucking kidding me? God damn. Fucking bullshit. Fucking Leon. Leon's not fucking better than Chris. Alright, so I'm back. Here we go. We're looking at the breakdown. This is from 2004 to present. Yes, Leon overall has been higher in the search category more than Chris. But if you look at the giant spike for Chris, which is in blue, by the way, I don't know if I specified that, but Chris is in blue, Leon is in red when it comes to this breakdown. Chris had the big resurgence here, and this is Resident Evil Village. Right here, if I can get the goddamn... Yep, May of 2021. Chris hit the biggest spike between the two of them that either one's seen, but if you look at it, God damn it, it just doesn't fucking match up. In fact, if Chris did not have that giant spike with Resident Evil Village, then he would have just got the floor fucking wiped clean by Leon. In fact, there's only four. There's only 4 instances where Chris was ever as popular as Leon when it come to the searches. Obviously, we got the Resident Evil Village release. We got early 2017, which is Resident Evil 7's release, which had Chris in it. We had a brief time in 2010 when Chris had more popularity, but that's again not too far removed from Resident Evil 5, which was when Chris was right here in 2009. So even after Resident Evil 5, Leon took back over, and then Chris took back over again in 2010. So all you Chris Redfield fans out there, like myself, hey, I like both, okay? I'm not some weird motherfucker that fucking hates characters because they're not their favorite. But for all you Resident Evil Chris Redfield fans out there, we got fucking got right here, okay? Leon Kennedy is outmatching us. We need to search for that motherfucker a little bit more. When looking at the United States breakdown, take a look at this map. Red is Leon still, so every state where you see red is where Leon is more popular. The gray states are like almost a tie. And then we got the blue, which is Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, you are only seeing one state where Chris is more popular, and it's fucking Idaho. What the fuck, man? At least Idaho out here repping Chris Redfield. Only 53% though. Only 50, barely topping Leon in these results. So at least Idaho has got Chris Redfield's back. So we went from arguably 2 of the most popular male protagonists to now 2 of the most popular, arguably, female protagonists. Jill Valentine, represented by blue, and Claire Bear Redfield, represented by red. And goddamn, it's a fucking slaughter fest. But look at this. Jill is just creaming this bitch. And there's only one instance, February 2019, where Claire ever topped Jill, and that was Resident Evil 2 remake release date. So, damn, Claire is way down compared to, 20 to 7. Oh, only a 7 share for Claire there. That's not good. Look at this. Not one single state is Claire the most popular when it comes to her and Jill. Blue is now Ada Wong. Red is now Wesker. Wesker is beaming right here in March of 2009, which is Resident Evil 5 release date. And then Ada's big time is right here in 2012, which was October 2012, which is the release date for Resident Evil 6. So, I mean, she was in that game. She played a pretty decent sized part, but very surprising to see that is the only time she's really spiking. There's one other time that she actually tops Wesker, and that's in 2019. Yep, Resident Evil 2 remake, but barely beating Wesker here, which is interesting because Wesker wasn't even fucking involved in that shit. So yeah, another slaughter fest. We got Wesker definitely topping Ada Wong in the charts, besides that one time for Resident Evil 6, which I guess really people were searching for Ada Wong when Resident Evil 6 came out. I figured this one would be fun. Just, Barry Burton and Rebecca Chambers. Barry Burton's in blue. Rebecca Chambers is in red. And believe it or not, Rebecca Chambers, 34% here to 20, beating out Barry Burton. So, yeah, look at this. There's only one time, and I believe this was Resident Evil Revelations 2 for, 2015. Is that right? Sure is. Look at that. February 24th, 2015. The only time from 2004, at least, that Barry Burton was more popular. Now in 2004, damn, Rebecca was fucking peaking, baby. Which is interesting because that's still 2 years after Resident Evil 0. There wasn't a lot of Rebecca Chambers floating around, so, I mean, there you go. So I know all you Claire Redfield fans are going to be disappointed in this, but I searched for the 5 most popular Resident Evil characters according to the Google searches, and this is what we're working with. We got blue, Leon Kennedy. Red is going to be Wesker. Yellow is going to be Chris Redfield. Green is Jill Valentine. And purple is going to be Ada Wong. So let's zoom on in here to these results. And right away, the biggest, most popularity spike of all the characters was Wesker. And that happened again, of course, in 2009, which was Resident Evil 5. But that is very interesting to me that that is the most popular spike of any of the characters at any point from 2004, of course, to present day. So there you go, Mr. Wesker. You got your fucking glory. But let's see, number 2, believe it or not, wow, number 2 is purple, Ada Wong. And again, this is Resident Evil 6 timeline, so that is a fucking shocker that Ada Wong is number 2 most searched on this list. Now, yeah, I know what you're probably saying. Oh, that's a lot of people just looking up Ada Wong porn. Well, I mean, fucking maybe, yeah. But hey, that's fucking search history, kids. So green is Jill Valentine. She's got a couple big spikes here. She's got, of course, what is this? What year is this? 2004. So I had to look that up real quick to see why 2004. But that was the Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse, the second movie with Julia Jovovich. And Jill Valentine debuted in that movie, so, and she was very good, by the way. So that was that spike right there. We had another spike in 2009, which of course was Jill Valentine. She was Albert Wesker's fucking sex slave in Resident Evil 5, so that was that big spike. And then we had another big spike, which was, come on here, this is 2020, which was of course Resident Evil 3 remake. So for Leon Kennedy, who is one of the more popular characters, there's only one time in this timeline where he was the most popular character, and that was right here in 19, right? 2019 is when Resident Evil 2 remake. So that is the only time, as popular as Leon is, that he was number 1. Same can be said for Chris, which was Resident Evil Village, which was in 2021. And I guess Chris was also popular in 2017, but I mean, because he was kind of in Resident Evil 7 a little bit. So when you're looking at this breakdown, those are your spikes. Those are your biggest spikes. But over here on the average, this shows the overall most popular. So number 1 is Albert Wesker with a 13 share. Number 2 is Jill Valentine. Yes, Ada Wong did have the biggest spike, the second biggest spike, but overall popularity, Jill comes in second. Then we got Leon in third, who's got a 9 share. Then we got Ada Wong with a 7, and Chris Redfield. Chris fucking Redfield couldn't even beat Ada Wong. What in the holy fuck is wrong with this fucking community? So let's look by state real quick on the most popular. So it looks like a lot of red, which is Albert Wesker. Albert Wesker is fucking huge in Montana. Wesker has almost a full share in Montana. And the rest is the only other popular character that wins is Jill. We got California, Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Colorado, New Mexico. Jill is big in Hawaii, apparently. What do we got? We got Minnesota, we got Illinois, was Rhode Island, Connecticut, and then we got Kansas and Oklahoma. So Jill has a pretty good popularity in other states, but the rest of it overall goes to Albert Wesker. That is pretty big to me for a character that has been dead since 2009 when Resident Evil 5 came out. He's still #1 in the fucking charts. Or is he? I'm about to show you something, and you motherfuckers, I'm just gonna show you how much you've let me down, okay? I'm just gonna show you how much you fucking let me down. Right here. Right now. Because I just discovered something. Look at this fucking spike. Look at this popularity. I just added in a new name onto this list that is in purple. I think you can probably guess who the fuck is in purple. Look how big of a gap. This is the same graph I just showed you. Do you remember how Albert Wesker was so much higher? Who's in red, by the way. Look at this graph.
Look at this graph!
Look at red. That is Albert Wesker. You remember him being way higher than everybody else. Now look at this fucking graph. And look at the fucking purple spike.
Oh, shit.
There you are. All this for a child who isn't even here.
What the hell, dude? Ah!
You ungrateful, selfish wretch.
Yep, that's fucking Lady D. That spike right there is the popularity of Lady D from Resident Evil Village. Look at the state breakdown in purple here. Lady D just starts dominating all these states. All these states. Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, fucking Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia. All these motherfuckers. Michigan, fucking Wisconsin. You have all let me the fuck down. A thirst trap motherfucking viral bitch who comes in a really no-name character as far as when you look at the storyline wise. Go back and watch my top 5 most worthless characters. You might find that bitch in that top 5. Spoiler alert. Look at this fucking gap right here. That was Wesker, his most popular spot. 18 compared to a 100 from Lady D. I love some big ass titties myself. I really do. I'm a motorboat semi-finalist, okay? I get it. I love the titties. But you know what? Don't let that shit dictate what the fuck is going on in the Resident Evil world, because goddamn Lady D has fucking dominated the Resident Evil character timeline. And over time, she is not #1 overall because this shit just happened last fucking year. So her popularity over time is going to trump everybody else. Every single character that we've had in Resident Evil history, Lady D is gonna be the most fucking popular. Now, if she was a good character, I wouldn't have a problem with it, okay? But let's face the goddamn facts, kids. It just ain't in the cards for her. I added in a new contender to the table here. So I took out a lot of characters. So right here in blue, we have Wesker. Red is Lady D. Yellow is Nemesis. Fucking look at this spike. Look at this goddamn spike here. Lady D fucking demolishes everything. But overall, Nemesis still takes over the whole United States. Look at that shit. Who knew the Nemesis? You didn't see this one coming, did you? Maybe you did, maybe you did. But I was saving it for the end here. Nemesis actually is the most searched for, the most sought after character in Resident Evil history overall from 2004 to now. So there you go. Congratulations, Nemesis. You get the golden trophy. But as I said, over time, I think Lady D is still gonna probably take over. But look at this drop off right here. Look at this, the past year. Let's go to just the past year. Falling from grace here. Lady D coming down hot. But Nemesis in yellow still holding strong. Wesker down at the bottom there, not looking good, kid. Just in case some of you guys were wondering, I did throw Mr. X in. He is the green. He's higher than Wesker. But, that's probably because he's more recent from Resident Evil 2 Remake. But, there you go. So, in case you were wondering about Mr. X and his popularity, there you go. In the green there. So, not bad. Presentable. It's perfectly presentable. But Nemesis is number 1. But that is it for this video, folks. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. If you stuck around to the end, thank you so much for watching. We're going to probably do a part 2 down the road. We'll give it more time. Resident Evil 4 Remake just came out. That's probably going to skew some things because there's going to be a lot of popularity. Leon's probably going to jump back up. Ashley Graham didn't search for her fucking ass. We'll search for more of the B characters. Maybe some more of the, smaller games and, side stuff like Outbreak and stuff like that, but we'll do that in a part 2. This has already gone long enough. If you get time and you get bored, I say jump on Google Trends, have fun with it, throw in some Resident Evil shit, see what you can find. Meanwhile, down below, let me know anything you want to see me search for in the part 2 to the Google Trends later on down the road. In the meantime, just remember, Nemesis number 1.